Hey, hello, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sutton. And today we are talking all about 2024, reflecting on it, and talking about the goals that I set for 2024 and if I achieved them in 2024. I don't want to make this video because, spoiler alert, I didn't set any goals for 2024. We are also going to be talking about like pie charts in terms of like which books sold better, had better page views, made the most money. So that sounds interesting to you. Buckle up, buckle in, grab a drink. Let's get started. 2024. It was a very rough year for me, myself, and I. Let's travel all the way back for a second to 2023, the end of 2023, December-ish time. I did not make a 2024 goals video. Right? I didn't. Right? I mean, I don't recall making one. Like, I genuinely don't recall making one. But, like, how embarrassing would it be if I'm over here like, I didn't make a goals video, and I actually did. I'm like 98% sure I didn't make one. Okay? I'm like 98% sure. Go on. That's pretty sure. Oh my gosh, I did. I did? Stop, this entire time I thought I didn't. Hello, my name is Sarah Sutton. I'm an indie author of 10 young adult romance books, and 2023 sucked. With me if I'm awkward on camera. I'm genuinely shook. Okay, can we get to the goals?
I don't think I've had a year that has like hit me as hard as 2023 did.
Seriously. I would say, sitting here, 2024 was so much worse than 2023. I didn't realize I thought 2023 was that bad. I think 2024 was my year from hell. So that's really funny that I'm sitting here at the end of 2023 saying 2023 was my worst year ever, not knowing what was going to come in 2024.
For the longest time, I told myself, oh yeah, burnout can't touch me. Burnout, I'm not going to ever get burned out. Well, it hit me. It did. What changes did I experience this year?
Okay, I'm actually going to go through and answer these as we talk about them. What changes did I experience this year? 2024 opened with me ultimately deciding to shelve my young adult idea and the Most Likely To series. That was the last one in the Most Likely To series I was working on. I'm like, you know what? I cannot do it anymore. It's driving me bonkers. So I decided to put it on the shelf and begin working on my first new adult book, Love and Other Champagne Problems. We started working on it in January and then we published it in July, which is somewhat on par with how long it takes me to do books. Typically, it usually took me 6 months. This one took me 7. For being burnt out for over a year and haven't really written anything of substance for almost a year, I thought that was pretty good. And then my aunt passed away January 6th. Around there, and she was my biggest cheerleader ever in terms of like my books, my dreams, my you know, she's just the best person you could ever meet. She passed away. That was really, really hard, and I really struggled with Bomi in the beginning of 2024. I could not leave her alone at the apartment because I kept thinking like, I don't want to be the kind of dog mom who leaves her dog roam around doing whatever she wants when she leaves the house, just because I have a lot of anxiety. And I'm like, I can't leave my dog roaming because what if she gets into something? What if she gets out? What if she barks her head off? You know, so I was under the sort of like mentality that whenever I left the house, I would have to put her in a crate. Bummy does not like being put in a crate. So she would bark her head off and I just could not figure it out until I finally let go of my stubbornness. And I'm like, I will leave her roam. And I will make sure everything's picked up. I leave her to roam. She sleeps. She's fine. I just had to learn to get to that point where, yes, you can leave your dog. You know, anyway, I don't know why I was like on a high horse of I'm not letting my dog roam the house while I'm not here. I don't know if it was because I was in an apartment and I didn't want her getting into things and like peeing on the floor or anything. She doesn't pee on the floor. I don't know. But I finally stepped off my high horse. I was like, let the dog roam. She was perfectly fine. She has been perfectly fine since. So that was tough to navigate, and that was just me being stubborn, and I wanted things a certain way, and they just weren't gonna turn out a certain way. And I had to accept it. Then my grandfather on the side with the aunt that had just passed, he passed away at the end of April, I believe. It was somewhat sudden. He had just had his birthday, his 89th birthday in March. It was somewhat sudden, but we kind of knew it was coming, just not that fast. And then following that, in the beginning of June, my grandmother on my mother's side passed away. So it was kind of like all at once, rapid succession, and it sucked and it was overwhelming. And Giselle passed away in May, I believe. Giselle is our family dog. We got her when I was in the 8th grade, I want to say, and that was sudden. That was very sudden. We hadn't seen it coming at all. She was perfectly fine one day, and the next she literally could not move, would not move. And so yeah, we lost Giselle. That was really hard. When it's sudden like that, I feel like that's like when it's the hardest. And then moving into the summer months, I published a book, published Love and Other Champagne Problems, and we, tried to write something else, but nothing was clicking, and I was very upset and discouraged. And then September comes around and my landlord reached out to me asking if I wanted to renew my lease over at my apartment. What I didn't share, I don't think, is that I was really torn between renewing my lease for last year in 2023. It was October when she reached out last time and asked me if I wanted to renew my lease, and I really, really struggled because I did not enjoy living in the apartment. I think I had moments where it was nice and it was fun, and that's what I filmed. But there was a lot of times that I was just very, very lonely and very, very isolated, and I really didn't enjoy it. But I felt like I couldn't move back home. Like, I kind of felt like I had made this step into adulthood. I can't backpedal. And so 2023, I had this overwhelming feeling of I cannot go back home, but I don't want to be here. And so I chose to renew my lease. Very much so regretted it. So this year, when the opportunity was posed to me, I definitely said, no thanks. And I moved home. I moved home in November of this year. So middle of November, I think, I was out of the apartment, redid the space, room tour coming soon. So that's all the changes in 2024. Wow.
Was one of my moments of joy.
One of my moments of joy, moving back home, seriously. Like, I had such a terrible year that moving back home, I feel the pressure and the weight on me gone. Like, I feel so much better back home, back here. That is the biggest thing I think that's happened this year that I just feel so happy about.
Next question is, what trips did I take? And I talked about Chicago.
Didn't take any trips this year. It was a very much so low-key year, and I didn't really want to go on trips. I had my puppy, so really trips kind of were, I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to rot on the couch. I didn't really want to rot on the couch, I just did. But like, doing anything was very uncomfortable for me. So I was just in a bad headspace. 2024, horrible. What was the most difficult thing I faced this year? All the death was very hard. And I had actually never lost people before in my life. I had my childhood dog pass away when I was a senior. That was horrible. But that was the only loss that I'd ever experienced, aside from my grandfather in 2023. Yes, the end of 2023. But like, there was so much this year, back to back essentially, that it was so hard to wrap my head around and to kind of move forward through. So that was probably one of the hardest things this year for sure. And the burnout.
To find yourself so burnt out of something that you've loved for your entire life sucks.
It does.
It sucks because I had put so much of my identity into writing, and so when I didn't want to do it for that stretch of time, I literally felt so bad about myself. I'm like, who am I?
And that worry and thought kind of carried through 2024. I would probably say up until I moved home. Because honestly, I wasn't able to write too much. Not here. But like, now that I'm back home, I feel like the words are coming a little bit easier. I'm able to kind of more so easily fall into the story. So, yeah. The burnout kind of stuck with us for a while. Okay, the angle is messed up because going through that video, camera died, so to plug you in. It's okay. Yes, for the most part, the goals that I set for 2024 were done anyway. They were mostly ambiguous and like, I want to write more. I'm like, come on now. But that's understandable because I was going through it. One of my goals though was to publish 2, hopefully 3 books last year, 2024, this year, 2024. Did not happen, published 1. I don't really know, I think I had intended to publish Love and Other Champagne Problems. I think I was thinking June. And then my other book idea was a Christmas book, so I don't know when I was planning on squeezing the 3rd book in there, because I had said like, ooh, ideally 3. I don't know when I was planning for that 3rd book. I don't really I don't really know. But we didn't. We published one. It is what it is. It happens. This is supposed to be reflecting on 2024. Oh my gosh. I am losing the plot of this video. I'm losing the plot. This plot was supposed to be reflecting on 2024. Pie charts. Pie charts. 2025's video is coming a different day. We're not talking about 2025 yet. That's not this video. I'm losing the plot. It's because I had to stop filming and go upstairs because I had to charge you. So I had to multitask. I came back and I'm just back on track. Pie charts. We're gonna lose the pretty background in a second because I need to have my pie charts in a spot that I can see them. Goodbye, pretty background. Let's look at those pie charts. Let's turn you off because you're ugly. I have 3 pie charts for you guys to look at. I have the units sold, and that's all together ebooks and paperbacks. I have the page reads, and then I have the income. I don't have the specific numbers listed. If you guys are curious about the specific numbers, all that is going to be going to my Patreon self-publishing tier. I share recaps every month of like Kindle page reads, income reports, and stuff like that. But if you want the specific numbers for these pie charts, that's going to be over on Patreon. It's always linked down below. Here we go. Pie chart number 1 is units sold. So our top contender is definitely Dream About the Boy Next Door. That is a pretty big slice of pie. I think the second one is, yes, Teaching the Teacher's Pet. 15% of my books was Teaching the Teacher's Pet. 19% of the books sold was Dream About the Boy Next Door. Love and Other Champagne Problems beat out of my league by just 0.1%, which crazy. And then I think the lowest unit sold is Love in Fenton County with the tiny little pie chart slice at 0.8%. I have them in order of like books published, so What Are Friends For is technically first out of my league. If the Room Fits, still a sliver of pie, but not as tiny as Love in Fenton County box set, which makes sense because like it's a Kindle Unlimited book primarily targeted. So we're gonna scroll down, moving down to the Kindle page reads pie chart, and here you can see the Teaching the Teacher's Pet and Dream About the Boy Next Door definitely definitely won this round. Dream About the Boy Next Door is about 2-ish% higher, 2 and some change percent higher, which also when you look at Love and Other Champagne Problems is crazy because that itself is 2%. That was my only book that I published this year, and it is one of my lowest performing books Kindle page reads wise. It is above Christmas as We Know It by 0.7%, which is great, but still not what numbers you want to see for a book that you published this year. And all these other books are books you published years ago. But it's okay. To be honest, it is what it is. And I'm still happy that the Most Likely To series is dominating so much of this pie chart. I'm glad those books resonated with the readers. And then we're going to move down to the final pie chart, which is income pie percentages. Love and Other Champagne Problems made up of 3.5% of my income, which honestly, that's good. Fake Dating the Football Player beat out Teaching the Teacher's Pet with 19.1% of making up for my income. Just a smidge under Dream About the Boy Next Door's percentage. So crazy, crazy, crazy. It's so funny to me that the Love in Fenton County like individual books makes up such a sliver of the pie chart. For a while, like when I only had those books, I thought they were doing so well, and I feel like they still do well even though they're old. Like even the lowest income book, which is If the Room Fits, is the lowest income book. That's still made a pretty like decent amount of money for passive income. For a book that I published in 2020, it's still made a pretty like nice little bit of income. So that's pretty great. And remember, if you want the specific numbers, over on Patreon. I only published one book this year. Seeing how the other books I published in years past can still kind of carry me along even though I was really struggling, I am so fortunate about that. I'm so grateful that I was able to be mentally there in years past to put all the hard work in, because otherwise I would have really, really struggled. And now that I am back on my upward swing of feeling better, feeling more creative again, I think 2025 is going to be a very good year. That's my hope, but it's also my intention. I'm going to make it a good year. I don't want to come back here at the end of 2025 and say 2025 was the worst year yet, because that would be two years in a row that I was saying that 2023 was the worst year, 2024 was the worst year. I'm going to make 2025 a good year if it kills me. This video was chaotic. It was very chaotic. I apologize for that. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, comment down below what was one of the best things that happened to you in 2024. I want to know. Check out Monday's video that's coming for 2025 goals and all the specifics as I move into the new year. And it's going to be a good one, because I'm going to make it so. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Sarah Sutton. I am an indie author of 11 sweet romance books, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!